Back to a brand new Smackdown review in San Juan, California. And it just wrapped up not too long ago. And this was one of the most unexpectedly good episodes of Friday Night Smackdown in a minute. Like, I was not expecting this episode of Friday Night Smackdown to be this good because I've been expecting trash lately. You actually can see the inconsistency on my channel because I've just been that out of professional wrestling, specifically WWE. Haven't really watched any WWE shows except, WrestlePalooza and Crown Jewel. And, like, Crown Jewel was the first show back. Like, I missed the Raw app before that, the SmackDown before Crown Jewel, and I watched Raw after Crown Jewel, which I'm glad I did because I would have lost my mind if I didn't see the Braun Breaker spear on Seth Rollins and the betrayal of the Vision. And I'm glad I also did not miss this episode of Friday Night SmackDown because this was a banger episode through the beginning to the end, especially at the end because I was not expecting what happened at the end. But I'm glad it happened. But before we end this video, drop a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe if you're new. It helps the channel grow. And if you click on the corner of the screen, you will see a timestamp of AI Books Raw and SmackDown. You know. Also, just want to make this clear. If AI booked this episode of Friday Night SmackDown, it cooked. Just saying. The show started off with no surprise at all. Recaps of what happened on Monday, how the Vision somehow, some way broke up, where we saw the devastating spear by Braun Breaker to Seth frickin' Rollins. So, yeah. But the show really kicked off with Nick Aldis in the ring, and he made an announcement saying the match between Jake Batu versus Drew McIntyre is a #1 contendership match. Winner will take on Cody Rhodes for the WWE Championship. Didn't say when the title match was happening, but as we get on later in the show, we find out that #1 contendership match will not happen because of Jake Batu being taken out during the show. So, yeah. But we did see the American Nightmare, the Coaster, the WWE Champion, Cody Rhodes come out with a whoa! Coming out with pyro, because last time I watched SmackDown, he had no pyro. So that's good. He grabbed the microphone, said that, and he said that him and Seth don't ever need to be in the same ring again, but we all know that's not how it works around here, which he is spitting facts, because one way or another, Cody and Seth are somehow going to be intertwined with each other one way or another. Then Cody says Seth has his own business to handle, and he has SmackDown the business to handle as well. And he asked the crowd who they want to win, Jake Batu or Drew McIntyre. And of course, the crowd said Jake Batu, since they're in his backyard in San Jose. So, yeah. And then that was it for the first segment. The segment was all done, and that's it. Cody Rhodes was done for right now, because he had another segment later on in the night. Heck, he even had a match. But we did see the MFTs and Solo get into it, where we saw Solo and the MFTs walk into the building and sees Rey Fenix getting his poses and taking pictures from the cameraman. Obviously, Solo said, nah, Fenix out, and told the cameraman to shoot him. Rey Fenix ended up standing up for himself, which we all know does not work out for people when they stand up to Solo or the MFTs, because he ended up got taken out by the MFTs in Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, JC Mateo, and the one and only Tala Tonga. Terrible names. But we did see the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, come out for a match against Zaruka, I think it's Zaruka, with a beautiful entrance. And you can't forget that Sol Ruca is the women's NXT North American and the women's WWE Speed title champion. Can't forget about that. Can't forget about it, man. Can't forget about it. We did see Blake Monroe in the crowd, which she did play a factor in the match where we saw the end of the match. But we'll get into that later. This match between Zaruka and Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair was a pretty solid overall match. We did see Charlotte Flair hit this little roll up type thing. When Alexa got in there, she did a Hurricane Rana to Soul, and then we finally got a Zarya and Alexa Bliss thing where we saw a big spine buster from Zarya to Alexa Bliss, and then for some weird reason Zarya just decided to put Alexa Bliss into a sleeper hold position and just literally lift her up above her feet with her legs dangling like she's a toddler. And then we see Zarya tag in Sol Ruca, where we saw Sol Ruca deliver a devastating face buster to Alexa Bliss. But sadly, Alexa Bliss reversed after Zarya and Sol tried to do this little handstand splash that failed ultimately. This let Alexa Bliss get the tag with Charlotte Flair, where Charlotte Flair did the crossbody, his her comeback, and of course she did get hit with the Soul Snatcher for the 1-2 before Alexa Bliss broke up the pin. All the women got to the outside of the floor, and this is where we saw the crazy moonsault that Soul did to Charlotte Flair. Soul ended up getting distracted by Blake Monroe, which led Charlotte Flair to give a nasty hit to the blow of the knee of Sol Ruca, threw her back into the ring, attacked the knee a couple more times, locked in the figure 8 leg lock, and Sol Ruca quickly tapped out very soon after this happened. And your women's tag team champions, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, won the match. So congratulations to them. We ended up seeing a backstage segment between Jacob Fatu and Cody Rhodes, where we saw Jacob Fatu run into Cody Rhodes, welcome to San Jose, and tells him that after he dog walks Drew McIntyre, he'll dog walk Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes says he hopes to face him at the end. And ends it with a dap up. Did not know Cody know how to do a dap up like that, but he did. So yeah, who is this in the background? I don't even know. But yeah, that happened. Speaking of what happened, this man Aleister Black is an insane monster. This right here, disgusting. Get that. No. Leave. No. Out. But yeah, out. Get out. Because Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. Yes, I am. My bad. But Aleister Black says this was always a plan, teaming with his wife, and Zelina backs it up, sending a direct threat to Damian Priest, and them posing like this. So I'm going to guess that eventually this is somehow going to have Damian Priest get Rhea Ripley to SmackDown. Unless they do the most unexpectable thing ever, which is call up Lola Vice very early. Which I don't personally want, because I think Lola Vice needs a lot more time in NXT to, fully and truly understand pro wrestling. I just think she needs a little bit more time. Wouldn't hate it if Rhea Ripley had a scene of changery because she's been on Raw literally since the formation of the Judgment Day, and even before the Judgment Day, when she was still teaming with Liv Morgan, she was on on Raw. So I think it's a scene of changery for Rhea Ripley if she goes from Raw to SmackDown or beyond both brands, handling women's world title business and mixed tag team business with Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. Yeah, you could even have Zelina Vega cost Rhea Ripley high-profile matches on Raw for the Women's World Championship. That gets Rhea extra mad and fully teams with Damian for this feud with Aleister Black. That's my opinion. But we did get a Sami Zayn segment, which no surprise at all. Sami Zayn asked why he wasn't on the show. Nick responded, because we can't risk it after last week with the MFTs. They're already causing chaos. They're already causing issues. Sami rebuttals, by saying that's not how it's done around here. It never has. I'm going out there for the U.S. Open Challenge because this title actually means something. Unlike the Women's United States Championship. Okay, he didn't say that. I added that part because, let's be real, this is the only United States Championship in all of WWE that really and truly matters, because we can already tell that WWE cares less about the Women's United States Championship than they do about their WWE Evolve titles. Heck, their Speed titles. They care more about their Speed titles than they do with their Women's United States Championship titles. Let's just make that official tonight. Stamp that, Nick Aldis. We did see Sami Zayn go out there with his championship, but The Miz answered the open challenge, but soon got taken out by Carmelo Hayes, who apparently I must have missed the episode. Actually, I have missed episodes of Friday Night SmackDown, so I guess I did not see where Miz attacked Carmelo. But we did see Carmelo attack Miz and ran the Miz off. But instead of the Miz, we got Ilya Dragunov. Someone who I forgot how good he was in the ring. Now remember, I was out doing something from literally 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock, so I missed the entirety of the episode, so I had this on record while I was out and doing something with my family. I didn't get spoiled because I was on YouTube and I'm subscribed to the WWE channel. But I strictly went to channels that don't talk about wrestling and other sports and like basketball and stuff like that. And I literally avoided anything wrestling on my For You page on YouTube. So when I heard the Ilya Dragunov music, I popped so loud, it was louder than this crowd actually was in San Jose. Now, the reason probably, and I really have missed Ilya, because Ilya can put on bangers without even trying. And for the last year, I think honestly, that's what we've missed. What we've really have missed in WWE. More bangers. And now that Ilya is officially back in the WWE spectrum and in the title division and on SmackDown, we can finally have Ilya cook once again every single week. Also, like that new neck tattoo you got, Ilya. Yeah. But we did see Ilya give a nice brutal forearm to Sami Zayn and a couple more hits, bomb, bomb, boom, bomb. And then we did see a beautiful enziguri from Ilya Dragunov to Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn was going for his, I think, Kaluva kick or something like that, but catches a boot straight to the face by Dragunov. But sadly, Sami Zayn later in the match hit a couple German suplexes on Ilya. But then Ilya said, I'm done with this, picked him up, and threw him back down to the mat, slamming him down there. And then they got to the apron, the hardest part of the ring, if you didn't know that already. Sammy tried to do a little brainbuster thing to Ilya Dragunov on the apron, but this spot went horribly wrong, where literally Ilya landed on the rope, and from the replay, it almost looked like if he didn't rotate mid-air, like landing on his like high back-ish, he literally could have landed on his head and probably gone paralyzed. Like, bro, first match back and already almost injuring himself again. Unbelievable. And that wasn't even it, because after commercial break, we see Ilya hit a beautiful back senton from the top rope, and then we see a crazy superplex, just like he used to do back in the day, to all of his opponents. And Ilya try to set up the H-bomb, but caught a nasty boot straight to the face of the thing. But then we see this crazy move. I don't even know what this was. Like a kind of like a throat overhead suplex thing type thing. I don't really know what it was called. But we did see another beautiful Constantine special from Ilya that led to the Torpedo Moscow being blocked by a beautiful Huluva kick into a Blue Thunder Bomb, which some reason Sami Zayn tried to pin him, which we all know the Blue Thunder Bomb has never, ever, 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 ever worked in the history of Sami Zayn's career. Never. But sadly, this led to a literal exploder in the corner. This guy was stressing over here. He said, "Oh my God, my favorite wrestler of all time, Ilya Dragunov's about to lose to Sami's Hogan. Oh, please." But thank the Lord that Ilya recovered in time to give Sami Zayn a Torpedo Moscow and an H-bomb to finish it off for the 1, 2, 3, and your new United States champion, Ilya Dragunov. And I was actually hyped and very, very surprised, because I was not expecting WWE to first have Ilya Dragunov return to Sami Zayn's weekly U.S. Open Challenge, but not only give him a championship in his literal return to action match. Not expecting this at all. I wish I was actually recording my reaction, because I would have posted it up to the channel. I would have lost my mind. You would have seen me lose my mind that Ilya won it. We did see a little show of respect from Sami and Ilya, but that ended very, very quickly due to the MFTs attacking, and the MFTs literally took out him. And then I don't even know how Rey Fenix got down there, but he got taken out as well. Where we saw Solo get on the mic and say, "You think you guys forgot?" He says, "We still run Smackdown, and I will make my family champions once again." Then all of a sudden, Bo Dallas pops up on the screen, starts talking about the future, and then with all of a sudden, the Wyatts pop out of literally nowhere, and they had this little showdown, which I thought was pretty cool, if you don't think myself, which is clearly setting up a match. Also, Wyatts, MFTs, Survivor Series War Games. Am I cooking? Am I cooking, chat? I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, let's see if this works out. We got one Tongan, other Tongan, Mateo, Sokoa, Loomis, Rowan, Bo, I think, Bo, and then Gacy. Don't think there's enough. That sucks. Truly. But hopefully, hear me out though. War Games. But Speaking of which, it's the 1 year anniversary of the Motor City Machine Guns, and they took on their very first opponent in WWE 1 year later, and that was the Los Garzas. So, expect a cooking match. We saw the Los Garzas coming out. Speaking of which, did you just see the big dog move that Santos Escobar made? Santos Escobar, who barely gets a pop on television or in the arena, he gets a negative pop, made the biggest and boldest big dog move I may have ever seen and I've ever seen. That man, Santos Escobar, basically forced WWE to give him a contract. Love it. But we did see Motor Machine Guns start cooking with the Los Garzas, hitting some drop kicks. But the Los Garzas also can deliver devastating knees to the face of the Motor Machine Gun or Raging Piss, whatever you like to call them. We did see Humberto did a beautiful moonsault from the top of the rope, but it all ended with the skull and crossbones, which this match, honestly, hot take, did not need to happen. But you want to know what did need to happen? Fraxium is officially back on the television. I am so glad they're back. But Nathan was trying... Hold on. Now I have to get back to my thing. Nathan was trying to figure out how to get back in the tag team division. But then DIY pops out of nowhere saying Fraxium missed them, all that stuff. And they said for the last 2 months they've been on this thing out of it because they want the Street Profits to deal with the Wyatts. I mean, that's a pretty smart plan, to stay out of it. Make sure everyone else in the tag team division gets beat up except you guys, so you guys can stay fresh as possible. But just before the Jacob Fatu Drew McIntyre match, we see a commotion backstage where we see Jacob Fatu laying out on the ground with this big metal piece laying on his back with some blood on the floor and some teeth, allegedly, of Jacob Fatu were on the floor as well. Now, obviously they weren't real teeth, but what do you guys think they were made of? Do you think they were like some little balls that are small enough to look like teeth, or do you think they were literally just like Play-Doh or something? What do you guys think they were? I have no idea, unless it was like some veneer they somehow got in their hands and they just took them off and just put it on the ground with the blood and kind of mix it together to make it look like Jacob Batu's teeth fell off. I don't really know, but yeah. Also, we still have no idea who did it. Everyone kind of expects it to be Drew McIntyre, but who knows? WWE could literally throw a curveball at us right now and say Cody Rhodes attacks Jacob Fatu. I don't know. It could be Randy Orton either. I don't know. Yeah, right there. Right there's the teeth. Oh. Yeah. Oh God. Why did I zoom in? Oh, that was a mistake. I'm sorry. But we did see the Scottish Warrior, Scottish Psychopath, whatever you like to call him, did come down to the ring and says to the referee, raise my hand, blah, 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 I'm the winner, after making fun of Jacob Fatu's bleeding gums. And then he got talking to Nick Aldis saying, you better not be working for the corporate Cody. After Nick said, you better. If I swear to God, if you did that to Jacob, you will be fined. And then a mad Cody Rhodes comes down saying, hey, you know what? If you want your match, you can get it right here, right now in San Jose, California. Throws the title down and starts fighting Drew McIntyre, setting up a match. He did say it was for the title, but even the commentators didn't even know if this was officially for the world championship. So I'm going to guess it was a world title match. I don't know. But we did see Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre brawl on the outside for a little bit until after commercial break, where they finally decided to get back in the ring. And keep in mind, Cody Rhodes did this entirety of this match in a suit with dress shoes on. That is impressive. Not many wrestlers can do that. But we did see Cody Rhodes do some punches and get on top of Drew McIntyre. And Cody, I get it, it's a Halloween season. You're not a vampire. Stop biting people's heads. You're not trying to suck the blood. Goo goo gaga. All that type of stuff. But sadly, the coaster of himself got hit with the shell shock DDT. And then Cody hit him with his classic drop down, boom, straight to the throat. And then all of a sudden, they were fighting on the outside after a little bit. Cody got launched over the barricade. His shoe came off, apparently grabbed the championship, and whams! Drew McIntyre on the side of the head with it, making him seem like he turned heel. But this is not even the biggest part, because Cody cleared off the announcer's table, and you hear Vic Josephson saying, "Look at his eyes, Corey! Look at his eyes! He's a madman! Good God!" Gets Drew McIntyre on there, looking like he's about to crossroads him, until security and other WWE officials got down there to stop this chaos from continuing. But they did not stop Cody Rhodes, because even when security and WWE officials got Drew McIntyre to the other side of the ring, we saw Cody Rhodes jump onto the turnbuckle and did a crossbody dive on them. They eventually got him separated, got Cody back in the ring, and Cody said, come on, let's fight, blah, blah, blah. And now this is making me think we're going to get Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre at Saturday night's main event. Only makes sense and is fitting. So yeah. What do you guys think about this? Do you think the Cody Rhodes Drew McIntyre feud will continue a little bit longer after Saturday night's main event? What do you guys think? Comment below. And anyway, that's all I got for you guys today, and that was your Smackdown review. Anyway, peace out. Bye.